Hey guys. I figured I would come on here and talk about some of the things that have happened in the past couple days with the NBA. And I kind of wanted to speak to you all candidly without any of the background or anything. So you just got my room in the back. My green screen's not up right now, so we're just gonna talk for a couple minutes. But um, I for a long time I felt like anybody who has a platform with an audience in any field, but specifically in sports, because that's what I've wanted to do. But I've always kind of felt like if you have the opportunity to speak to people who might listen to you, then I think you need to take that opportunity to talk about things that are important to you. Um, and not to say that I have any type of audience right now, because I don't. Um, I'm just barely starting with everything, and I mean, nobody really cares about me yet. Uh, Hopefully we'll be able to grow that audience one day, and I'll be able to use that to speak on things that matter to me. But for right now, I still felt like I needed to address a couple things because it's been on my mind a lot over the past couple months, and we've seen the players really caring about these issues. Uh, and of course it's the whole, with everything going on with the killings and shootings of unarmed black people in America, with the issues surrounding police brutality and institutionalized racism and everything that has gone on in our country. Uh, I'm from the U.S. obviously, but everything that has gone on in our country over the past few months, um, I think it's important to let it be known that I absolutely support the players with what they did yesterday, with the Bucks staging their walkout, and not coming out for the game, and then subsequently the other two games being canceled that night. Um, I thought it was awesome what they did, and I applaud them all for it. And I think it is time for some real changes to happen in our country. And it's been a hot button issue for the last little while, but um, I think it was really noble what the Bucks did in order to try to raise some awareness for this issue. And their statement was well put together and well said, led by George Hill and Sterling Brown, who, Brown himself was a victim of police brutality and being judged by his skin for for a simple parking violation. So um, I thought that they did a very good job with that, and then obviously the rest of the players and the teams meeting and deciding to cancel games yesterday and today. And we now have more of a concrete idea of what the next couple days are going to look like for basketball. Um, it's looking like games are going to come back either tomorrow or Saturday. We're not sure. So Friday or Saturday there will be games. If I had to guess, I think it would be Saturday, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Um, I think the NBA has done a pretty good job with, at least at first, I thought they did a pretty good job with letting players be vocal about social justice issues. But I think over the past couple weeks, it's become more of a focus on the basketball and on the sport rather than on that, which I think is something that the players uh, have been pretty. They thought a lot about that, right? I remember the first couple days of games, they televised the anthems, and we saw all the players kneeling with locked arms, and they were all kneeling for the anthems, wearing their Black Lives Matter T-shirts, and we saw that for the first couple days of games, and then after that, I don't even know if they're having an anthem for these games or not, or what the players are doing. I would assume that they're all still kneeling if they do, or if they are having an anthem, but they haven't been really able to talk about it. And it's just been kind of the same commercials showing up every now and then. There's 2 or 3 commercials that play, which are nice. I mean, that's all well and good, but I think that the players are hoping for a little bit more of a commitment from the owners and from the league in allowing them to say what they want to say. And I really do hope that this has been a wake up call for the team owners and for the people that are in charge, because a lot of these owners of these franchises are billionaires, and they're well connected politically, and they have some pull. So I would hope that those people are able to see that this is a issue that's very important to the players in the league and to many people in this country, and that it's time to put a more concrete plan into action addressing these things. And I'm hopeful that will happen, because the players have kind of, they've hit them where it hurts, and that's their wallet. If the season was to be canceled, if the players did decide to say, hey, we're not going to play again this year, that would, the owners would suffer financially from that. They were scared, I would assume, that would happen. The owners and the league and Adam Silver and everybody. Obviously, they don't want the rest of the season to be canceled, because that puts them more in the hole financially than they already were with the pandemic and everything going on. So obviously they didn't want that, and so I'm sure that that's a big motivating factor for them to kind of make sure that the players are happy, which I think is a good thing. So all this to say that, I'm just a kid with 5 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I am not a black person in America. I've been very fortunate to grow up in a place with a lot of privilege. I'm a white straight man. I grew up in a well-off family, in a nice house in the suburbs, in a good community. It's been very safe where I live. And I just, it's disheartening to me when people tell me that I can't be upset about the issues that this country is facing because, well, America has been so good for you. You've had such a good life, and I totally agree that I have had a good life here, and I've been very lucky to have all the things that I have. But I think it's very important that we show empathy and love and support for other people in the country who have not had it as good as I have. And so I think it should be known that I support Black Lives Matter, and I support all of the steps that these players have taken to make sure that their voices are heard. And I think that, anybody with a platform and with an audience, I think that's kind of your job and your duty to discuss the things that are important to you. And this is something that's important to me, and it's important to a lot of Americans. And so I just want to give my props to the players for being so committed and willing to risk a lot of their own personal, their personal equity and their personal, walking out on a playoff game. The Bucks didn't know what that meant. They, the NBA could have handed them a forfeit. They could have all been fined. They could have been, they had no idea what was going to happen. So that's a big move right there. And I also want to talk about a lot of the great words that were said on TV last night. Chris Webber gave a very, very powerful speech, and I was very moved by Kenny Smith's walking off the set of Inside the NBA, just unplugging his microphone and walking off, which is one of the most powerful moments that I've seen on television in my lifetime. So I think that's all I wanted to say. Just making sure that the focus today is not on basketball, but it's on the issues that have, been plaguing our country for years, that need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed now, with police reform and institutionalized racism and, arresting and charging the officers that were involved not only in the shooting of Jacob Blake, but also Breonna Taylor from months ago now, that nothing has been done about that. And unfortunately, those two names with Jacob Blake and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and countless others before them, and not all of them have gotten their full justice in their cases. And I think that there's a lot of work to be done still. But I applaud the players in the NBA for taking a stand against important issues in our country. And so that's pretty much it. So just making sure that the focus is on more important things than basketball, because basketball is secondary to all of those things. So at least for today, that's what we're focusing on. And that's all I have to say. So thanks for listening. And I would hope that you not only listen to me, but amplify Black voices and Black people in our country, and listen to them when they tell you what they would like to see changed, because there's been a long history of biases and crap that has been done to people who don't look like me. And so, yeah, I just would hope that you would listen to those people as well when they tell you what has been wrong and what we should do about it. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. And I'll see you when I see you.